Alright, so we've had a bit of a busy, I want to say like 2-3 weeks, and you know it's been kind of hectic. So I noticed as well, and you might have noticed as well if you go to check the dates of the YouTube channel, you would have noticed that we did actually miss a week for videos, and I didn't like doing it, but I mean, like I said, it was kind of out of my hands. Had a really busy half month, so you know, I think it's not that much of an issue. I mean, as you can see, we're preparing for something, and it's not a big project. It's something that we've done before, but still, always best to be prepared. And that is what this video is about today. We're gonna do, actually, I say video, I'm gonna do like a 3-part series, kind of a series, do a 3-part little video thing where I'm gonna show you how to prepare and get ready for and in the post process of a shoot. Now specifically, we are doing a wedding, well, a pre-wedding shoot. However, obviously the simple things that you do in each shoot, they kind of comply to pretty much nearly every kind of shoot. I mean, they do differ on some things. Maybe they'll differ to like product photography, stuff like that, but I would say generally most shoots have the same kind of I want to say background kind of examples. So what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna show you the prep work you need to do for a shoot. Let's get going. Alright, so we've got a little place where I can basically show you the things that we'll be going over today. And this is all, like I was saying earlier, this is kind of all the prep work that you want to do before you go into a shoot, because you don't want to get onto a shoot and then you're all over the place. You want to be really organized, on time. That's your own thing. I can't help you with that. Be on time, you want to be organized, and also got a bit of a list here of just things that you probably want to jot down as well, because again, it's all about preparation. I can see we've got line kit ready to go. I say that it's in the bag, but you know, we've got it. Got some cameras, and obviously the camera that we're using now, and another camera. So, you know, we've got enough cameras, we've got enough lenses for the day. We'll be all sorted. But again, like I said, I'm going to go through this list, a little bit of detail, not give you too much, you know, to oversaturate you, but just enough, just to give you an understanding of what you need to do before you got to shoot, wedding, party, whatever it is. Be prepared. Let's get going. Alright, so to start the video, I'm going to go over just some little bullet points of the things that we'll be discussing today in the video. So first thing is you want to think about your preparation. So when I say that, I'm talking about, so before you actually got your date for the wedding, for the shoot, whatever, make sure you're prepared with everything. So you know what you're going to take. As you can see here, we've got a lighting kit, like I said before, cameras. We know what we're going to take, so when it gets to the day, we're not going to be in the morning rushing around thinking, oh, do I need this, all that kind of stuff. Also, good thing about this camera kit is it's got batteries. Obviously your camera's going to have batteries, so remember to always make sure they're all charged up, and if you can, get some spares. It's not always needed, because depending on what you're shooting and I guess the length of the actual event you're going to, you might not need them, but always be prepared. So I would always say, just in case, get some spares. Got that. Also, what we're going to do now today is test the equipment, because this stuff hasn't been used in a while. I mean, it probably looks kind of fancy, but it's kind of old as well, but that's not an issue. So again, we'll test them out, see what works. I mean, I feel like it should all work, but again, this is the thing. If you get to your shoot and then something's not working, you can only blame yourself for that, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. So always test it out. I mean, everything's here, so it should be fine. Also, another thing that you want to do is definitely practice the shots that you know are gonna pop up. So potentially stuff like portrait shots, family shots. What else is there? I mean, maybe just product shots. So if it is a wedding, you know, things like ring shots. Maybe practice, obviously have someone help you, just like maybe like you're in a mirror and you have the whole, you know, the tie thing where the groom is doing the tie. Pretty classical shot, all that kind of stuff. You want to test out and practice all the shots that you know are going to pop up, just because you want to get a feel again for your camera settings, and also, I mean, it does get easier after time. You know, you get more used to it, but it's good to just always, even if you're an expert, just set some time out a couple days before, just prepare. One thing you also want to do as well is, and I'd say this is very important, practice experimental shots, because yeah, you could go somewhere, take a picture with your camera and you'll get paid for it, that's all right. But if you want to be recognized, remembered as a photographer, as a content creator, you want to do something that stands out and something that is pretty unique to you. So try and experiment with your shots and just see if you can really push your photography on the day. And obviously the best way to do that is practice that as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to just practice something that's not very unique to us. It's been done, you know, before. I've seen it a lot, Instagram and stuff. It's where basically we're just going to put something in front of the lens and just give off almost a lens flare kind of look. Again, it's something that's been done before. It's not new, but it's experimental and it looks good in pictures. And also, it's again something that we want to just go over just to make sure that we can, on the day, we're ready to do it straight away, no hassle with it. So again, experimental shots, test them out and see what kind of style you can give off as well. And talking about experimental shots, one thing that'd be really good for you to do would be to research different types of shots. So for wherever you're shooting, like I'm saying, as an example, a wedding, it's good to just go on things like Google, Pinterest, Instagram, maybe even Facebook if you follow some photographers. Get on all these sites, do a bit of research on different types of shots, how to do them, because maybe by you looking at these shots, researching them, you'll think, oh, that looks good, maybe I can do that. But also you might even think, oh, I can do something a little bit different with this, make it a bit more unique to myself. And by doing that, you're making it more unique. So again, research a bit. I mean, I do think Pinterest, definitely a worthy thing to look at. I mean, we used it. Again, you will find, I'll admit, a lot of common shots that people think are experimental and unique. But I mean, if everybody's doing it, it's not that experimental and unique, you know what I'm saying? So forget about that. Still, good shots are good shots. So give it a look, do some bit of research. Right, also there is something that I feel like I've got to mention because it's just a smart thing to mention. I don't want to because it's kind of boring and no one likes it. And if you do like it, you're kind of boring yourself. But anyway, if this is the legal side of stuff, because let's face it, no one likes it. It's a pain, but sadly, it's got to be done and you can't do anything about it. So the one thing you got to think about is the legal stuff. And when I say that, I mean stuff like, I won't talk about stuff like insurance because that's more personal. You got to do that yourself and find your own quotes and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, it depends where you are and all that kind of stuff. So insurance and stuff, definitely get that. That is one thing I will mention. I won't go into detail about what type because it depends on your business. But definitely, insurance is one thing. One thing that you definitely want to think about is contracts. They go right up. I mean, you can find quite a few. I'm pretty sure if you just type in photography contracts, videography contracts on Google, you'll find a bunch of templates. And from what I remember, they're pretty good, they're pretty decent, have all the information there for you, and you just got to fill out your parts, your specific parts to it. But again, it is important because there has been a couple of times, not with me, but I've, from other photographers and stuff, where they will say they're doing a shoot with a client and everybody's happy up until maybe the end when the client asks for something, or maybe they're not happy with something, and then because nothing was in writing, there's kind of a bit of, I won't say like a legal battle, but they're just what's the word? I don't want to use confrontation, but that's what it is. Because one person wants one thing, the other one wants another thing. Because I mean, you can write in your contracts stuff like, reformations, you get 3 of them, and that's all right. It's good to have them because again, you're giving the client what they want, you're being courteous to what they want, so it's all good. But also, if you don't have a contract and you're helping out, after you've given the final product, you're kind of questioning yourself and your business when maybe you've done 5 reformations and they're asking for more. So you're just thinking, how much of my time and money am I going to use, to carry on with this one project? So everything about contract, think about what's in the contract. So reformations, what your price is, what you'll be doing, the dates and stuff, things that you won't be doing on the day, and I'll talk about that in a second. Also things like when they'll get their final product, that's pretty important because obviously you don't want to be a photographer or videographer who says, I'm gonna do this work for your wedding. 3 months later, you still haven't done it. I'm not gonna name names. I'm not like that. But I do know a photographer a couple of years ago. No, he was a videographer. He had a team, so I don't know what his excuse was, but I'm just saying, like, there was a bit of a wedding on, and I was like, when the stuff can be done? I was told that it'd be done in about 2 weeks because I kind of helped with a little bit of photography, just like as a freelancer at the time. Came to 3 months, nothing happened, so I was like, what's going on here? So I actually got asked instead to do the editing for the videography anyway, because the thing, I didn't have a clue about the footage at all. I didn't film anything, so they just sent me this stuff and they said to him, I'll give it a go. So instead, I was wanting to do the videography for him. It came out well, did all right. I don't think they did that bad of a job considering I had no control of what was being shot. But again, one of the things, be a bit courteous, and when you say there's a deadline, you can do it. Give yourself the time to do it as well. Don't say something like, I'll give it to you in 3 days, when let's say you've done 1,000 shots, you've maybe filmed for about 6 hours. It's not possible. Maybe it is if you're that organized, but let's be realistic. Give yourself a good, maybe like 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. It depends on your workflow, but yeah, just consider the time really and your workflow into that as well. One of the last things, and I guess it can be seen as kind of one of the important parts because it's very personalized towards the client. So what we're going to do is, before obviously your shoot date or whatever, you want to make sure that what you're shooting is what the client wants, because yeah, they could have hired you for a wedding, but maybe they want certain shots. So always ask your client, maybe like a week before, maybe 2 weeks before, ask them what kind of shots do they want and what kind of shots do they not want. So we've got a wedding in 2 days. Well, it's a pre-shoot, and they specifically said the things that they kind of want and what they don't want. So the things that they do want is like very detailed close-up shots. So things like the tie in the mirror, that kind of shot, kind of in the moment shots. So maybe getting ready, they want that. What they don't want is over-edited kind of pictures, things that look too highly saturated, things that look just way too, just not real, unrealistic shots. And they also don't want, I loved when I said this because we did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe a couple of months ago, color isolation. Even though I did turn my head around at the end of the video, I was like, it's kind of cool. They don't want color isolation. I was like, what? In my head, like, that's great. I don't like that either. So, that works out well. So again, discuss with your client what they want, what they don't want. And I mean, it just helps you as well. Everyone's happy at the end of it. And even then, if you're pretty much giving them exactly what they want, they're more likely to either hire you again or recommend you to someone. So you're bringing in business like that. So it's all good, it's all nice. I think that's my list. I'm pretty sure that's everything that I can think of. I mean, to be honest, we want to touch on this subject a little bit more in the coming weeks. So if something does pop up later on, I'll mention it then. But anyway, I'm gonna set the rest of this up. test it out, and then, I don't know, maybe in a couple of days, we'll be ready. All right, and that is today's video, and I hope you'd like it. You know what I did? It went kind of to plan. We did a bit of spontaneity with it as well. But you know what? Hopefully the information was there, where I was telling you the important things that you need to get done beforehand, stuff like the preparation, sadly, the legal stuff. No one wants to do it, but you gotta do it, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you saw the video. I didn't go over everything again. But you know what? Like I said, prepare, all that kind of stuff's important. And next week, we've got the actual shoot day. For us, it's going to be a wedding. For you, it could be something completely different, could be the same thing, who knows. And that'll be a weird one to film, because obviously we want to keep professional on the day, so we might not have many shots inside, but after the wedding, maybe even before, we'll do little bits where I'll come in, I'll give you little snippets of what you should do on the day and what you should try and avoid through the day. I won't ramble anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please give a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Also, look where we are. It's a pretty snazzy little end shot. Do you know what I mean? Nice. It's an alright room. Anyway, we probably won't be here all the time, but it's just nice to change up a bit. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, all that kind of stuff. See you in next week's video.